Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comedian and host of Bachelor Nation News. Let's get right into the story. So, it's a spoiler of who the next Bachelor is. Of course, we've already decided that we're not really treating this as a spoiler. But the Bachelor franchise has yet to properly introduce who the next Bachelor is. As we know, they are currently on Michelle Young's season. She's got a dozen or so guys left. They just won't announce it. They're almost done filming. He's pretty much like ready to go to fantasy suites right now. He's already bumping Harrison's in a yurt. And at the same time, the creator, Mike Fleiss, tweets what you'll see right here. Let me get my hair. Where's my Harry Potter wand? I don't even know where my Harry Potter wand. Oh, what can I do when I don't have my Harry Potter wand? Anyway, this is, boy, you run a professional show here. So he tweets already this tweet right here, which is a monitor. I'll show you the photo. It's a monitor of who the next Bachelor is and the next Bachelor host, Jesse Palmer. And then he tweets this little whoopsie, and it's kind of one of those like, let me show you, let me not. It's like in college when you're playing beer pong and someone flashes you to distract you from sinking a goal, and you're like, it's like, I'm playing against my buddy Josh. Could you not, put your shirt back on, Josh? All right, play by any means necessary. You got to win the game. All right, so let's get right into it. Again, if you don't want these spoilers, by all means, I couldn't go farther out of my way to make this convenient for you. Spoilers are announced in the title, in the thumbnail, and for about a minute or two up front. Do me a favor, if you're interested in joining my mailing list, it's in the description below. I'm going to send out an email tomorrow. I've got a stand-up show coming up at the Hollywood Improv on Monday. And if you're catching this tomorrow, I'm in Pasadena. I've got a show in Pasadena. If you want to come and have a good laugh, that's where I'll be. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals for my stand-up comedy clips. I just posted a video swimming with sharks in Belize. Old Belizean linen shirt Dave was in Belize. I took my shirt off to swim with sharks, and then promptly got very burned on my back. So that's that, folks. You can go check that out on Instagram at DNeals. All right, did I stall long enough? Are you guys ready to go? So here's the first photo from Mike Fleiss. He says, "Oh yeah," like he's the Kool-Aid man running through a brick wall. That's a very specific reference. So these are the monitors in the Studio City, or Video Village as they call it, I believe, which is where they have all of the different angles. Clearly what they're doing right now, they're either editing, or it looks like they're shooting, showing all the different camera angles at the same time. They'll have the director's chairs and they'll be watching this. That way they can tell the cameraman, the cameramen all have earpieces. Again, I don't mean to film-splain to you guys, but if you don't ever think about this thing, they all have earpieces. We take it for granted when we see a two-shot, a close-up. So what we have, obviously, there's a camera angle specifically on Jesse Palmer's close-up, and then there's also a camera angle on Clayton Echard, the next Bachelor, and we call this an over-the-shoulder, OTS or O/S, over-the-shoulder, which means it's like our point of view of looking at Clayton from behind Jesse, and then, of course, there'll be a tighter close-up of Clayton. And then, of course, what they do is have cameras that individually get all the reaction shots of the different contestants when there's like a rose ceremony. And it's important to remember, there aren't 20 cameramen working at once. There's probably 6, my guess is. So, just a guess. So they'll be getting reaction shots of people not necessarily in the moment, and they bank that. They probably have a whole file that's like, all right, here's all the reaction shots of Gabby, and they can just pick and choose when they need to edit to something. Anyway, that's neither here nor there for the story, but just some interesting tidbits of how they're shooting. It looks like these photos were taken probably at the Bachelor Mansion, although we're not too sure. If that was the case, these are old photos. As we know, they've been traveling in Europe. So anyway, he posts this, and then a moment later, he goes, oopsie, and then it's deleted. Let's read some of your comments. Here's your comments from the initial post. Again, that's the Bachelor. Maybe that's not the. Is that a fire? The fireplace doesn't look like the Bachelor Mansion, but this like burnt orange stucco does. Anyway, so Jesse Palmer, who looks like the older brother who buys beer for Clayton. Like, we're going to have fun recapping these guys. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Although, they seem like nice guys. I don't mean dumb in the actual sense. So, again, what I'm seeing is some Spider-Man action happening right here. You, me, what are we doing? This meme alerted me to the fact that this shows footage of 2 different men. I'm dreading the next season, and I know I'm going to half watch it while scrolling Reddit and lying about not watching it. Hashtag self-respect. 5 o'clock shadow and not 5 o'clock shadow is how we will have to tell them apart. Hope nobody changes their facial hair mid-season. All right, what else? This place is at the Bachelor Mansion. Ben Higgins season final 4 RC took place at the same mansion. So did they all so these must be new people that don't realize that the Bachelor Mansion was a staple before the pandemic. They're trying so hard to get us to like Clayton by giving him all the in the moment footage, but he's just boring so far. Give us Brandon. I'd actually argue that they're not showing us any extra Clayton. They have so much footage of these guys. If they really wanted to show us Clayton, they could create so many different scenarios, which they haven't done yet. They've really treated Clayton like any other mid-level Bachelor contestant, somebody who's probably, unless some crazy date happens, not going to click with Michelle. You know, yeah, they've kissed. There's an attraction there, but clearly she has her top 2 or 3, and he's not one of them, in which we could see. This is a flop of an actual announcement. No use of Clayton's name, Jesse's name, or hype. Edit, Fleiss deleted it since he forgot that Clayton hasn't been announced yet. Most of the comments were negative. Fleiss definitely posted that on purpose. All right, so it says he deleted it since almost every single response was bad. And then here's the comments on the whoopsie comment. So let's just go to the best here so we can figure these out. All right. This is like in high school when your friend keeps casually mentioning something without giving you actual details because they want you to beg them for more info. And then when you don't give into it, they accidentally let it slip and expect a big reaction. Weird. All right. What a cornball. He's teasing this as if we have any reason to give any flips about that man up until this point. Mike Fleiss, I'm begging you to give me a reason to give a flip about Clayton. They've showed very little depth to any of these guys and given very little reason to care about any of them. The only reason people are invested in Nate is because he's attractive, he's cocky, and hasn't shown much of anything for personality or character any more than Clayton at this point. All right, so that's what we have. That's what we have, and a lot of people have commented to be like, yeah, what? What? When are you gonna defend yourself why you're choosing Clayton? Me waiting for Clayton to go above and beyond to impress me now that we already know he's the next Bachelor. Yeah, they could easily like throw a cat in a tree and be like, Clayton, go save that cat. Are you guys familiar with this? I didn't look it up. Let's look this up. Hold on one second. Let me get out of there. Save the cat. Story. Let's go story structure. So the idea behind Save the Cat is, and this is actually a good thing to know. Save the Cat is a book. I don't like this. Let me search Save the Cat book idea. So the idea about what did I just type? The idea behind Save the Cat, which I'm having a hard time finding the right information about this, is that in every movie or piece of art where you need to have sort of a redeemable character, there has to be a save the cat moment. Okay, now I didn't plan this to talk about this, so I don't know if this sheet's any good, but, let's take, for example, think of any movie where there's a flawed hero. To be like it's a good example. Take The Wrestler, right? The Wrestler was a movie where there's this old wrestler down and out living in a van. He's on booze. He's at strip clubs. He's having all these moments where he's kind of just like a bad character. What's going to convince us to root for him? Well, there's always a save the cat moment. There's always a scene in a movie where the main character that we don't know if we like yet saves a cat or does something morally right. Puts the shopping cart away when no one else would. Hits the like button on the video an odd number of times. Subscribes and all that. So opening image, theme, setup, catalyst, debate. So there's when you write, we don't think about these things when we are consumers. We're just supposed to watch it all play out. But when you see the save the cat moment, you wonder, what is it in Clayton's story that's gonna be that? What are they going to give to us that's the cat being saved? So obviously I was just kidding when I say throw a cat in a tree, but there has to be some quality, and sometimes it's somebody like, for example, a character like Jamie. Jamie early on, we got a Save the Cat style story where he talked about his struggles with his mom and all that. Now, of course, it was blown later that episode when he became a conniving liar, but hurt people, and maybe he did that as some sort of coping mechanism. Who really knows? It doesn't make it right. Either way, Save the Cat moment. We'll continue to talk about that in the filming aspect of the show. Someone who didn't have a Save the Cat moment here, drink every time Dave says Save the Cat. Speaking of Save the Chickens of the Sea, I created this. Someone accused me of getting the screeners early, which means I get to watch the show before it comes out. But I was actually feverishly busy during the commercial break of the Bachelorette last night, creating what I believe to be my Mona Lisa. So what I did was I took this bin, this is the actual photo, and I created a duplicate of this photo, and I clipped this out, and then behind Michelle right here, which by the way is super low quality, I put a clipped out tuna can, and then I drew this little lid on top with myself, and then I cut and pasted this logo, and there we have it. These Bachelorette product placements are getting ridiculous. I thought it was good. All right, let's keep going. So a couple other things. These spoilers are for, I guess I maybe should have told you before I posted them. I'm going to tell you guys right now about Clayton's Final Four. I already made a video about this, so click away now. I'm not going to stall any longer. Here are your Final Four for Clayton's season. Again, we haven't even met these people yet. We've got Susie, Rachel, Gabby, and Serene. We've kind of gone over Gabby. She used to date Dean. We don't really need to get into the specifics, but that's where we're at. He's filming Hometowns. So Clayton and Rachel Recchia filming at King's Landing in Apopka, Florida, which is a canoe and kayak rental place. This is not them, but Reality Steve posted this photo, which, by the way, this is great advertisement because I would love to go there. I mean, sure, I'd be afraid of an anaconda or a crocodile killing me, but that's because I watched too much, too many movies growing up. All right, so here's the next. I'm going to just share this with you because we're here. Reality Steve had shared this. Reality Steve and I have done a few interviews now, and he got his start by following Joe Millionaire. And I remember growing up being baffled at the idea of Joe Millionaire. It's a show where a bunch of women are competing to fall in love with the Bachelor of Joe Millionaire, and it's someone who is the heir to $50 million fortune, like a wine fortune or whatever it was. And then after the winner wins, they reveal that he's actually worth nothing. He's just a normal plebeian, a Roman commoner, as we call them, just an average Joe, a Joe Millionaire. So once they find out he's worth nothing, if they decide to stay with him, then it's revealed they get to split $1 million prize. If she decides not to stay with him, they get nothing. All right. So anyway, they're bringing the show back, but instead they're going to have one millionaire and one guy who's not worth anything, and the women won't know who's who. Let's just watch this trailer. I'm so fascinated by this, and this is going to really, it doesn't say when it's coming out, Fall in Love this January, but it's going to be premiering on Fox, and it's going to be competing in one way or another with your bandwidth for The Bachelor. And I think I'm going to be watching this. I mean, I just tweeted to them saying, hey, if you guys pay me, I'll cover your season, but hey, who knows? Maybe I'll cover it either way.
20 years ago, Fox made television history with this shocking moment.
I don't have $50 million.
This January, history repeats itself.
This is Joe Millionaire.
With a twist.
One of these men is worth over $10 million. The other is not.
Wait, what?
Who is who?
Let the games begin.
Game on.
I'm not doing drama. That is disrespectful.
You're trying to sabotage me.
Enjoying ourselves, are we?
Joe Millionaire premieres
for a richer report. So this is going to be good because not only you have two different scenarios, you have a wealth aspect to it, and you also have two different men. So the men are probably going to maybe go after some of the same women, and vice versa. There's going to be a whole issue here. The funniest part of this would be is that if they go, you chose Billy, he's worth $10 million, and then they're like, but wait, it's all in crypto. So by tomorrow, he could be worth nothing. He just has like a bunch of cryptocurrency that's like, what's it even worth? I buy crypto too. I don't know what it's worth. All right, folks, let me know what you guys think. I know we covered a little bit here, but I'm trying to break up these stories so we can have some good content. Do me a favor, sign up for the mailing list if you haven't already. I'm going to be sending an email out about my upcoming shows and what's going on. And also the Facebook community is a good place where we're all having a good conversation. Dave Neal's community on Facebook. And I just remind you guys all in the comment section to be as kind as possible. I spend a lot of time reading comments and trying to remind people if I feel like their comments are out of line. I feel like a judge in the comment section where I'm like, like I just made a video kind of breaking down why Michelle got triggered by the guys not paying her attention because she grew up not getting attention in part because of the color of her skin. And she tells this story. She tells it in a poem. I was always the first to be picked for basketball, but the last to be picked for prom. She made it loud and clear that this was something that resided in her, this feeling of inadequacy. Excuse me. So then we talked about it. And then, of course, the first comment someone leaves is, man, I think Michelle's just needy. And it's like, oh my gosh, do we not? And it's like, by all means, post your comments, but like put some thought into them is my only thing. You know what I mean? Let's just evolve. We're on an individual level, I feel like humans are really evolving and becoming smarter and more connected. But on a group level, we're going back to the Stone Ages when we kind of become like, does someone not look like me so I can't empathize with how they feel? You know what I mean? And I know I'm to the choir. You guys are all so, really very, very smart. Very, it's just, there's always a comment or two where I'm like, what channel are you even watching? That's so irrelevant to the topic. It's kind of comical. Every video I make about Rachel Lindsay, 30% of the comments will be like, man, didn't she say she was going to quit? I feel like she did. It's like, shut it up, Janice. You know what I mean? All right, folks, let me know what you think. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye, everybody.